They come in. ZANU-PF is currently leading by 37 seats in Parliament, while the MDC Alliance has 11 seats and the NFP 1 seat. Well, for the latest on this story, we cross live to our senior anchor, Peter Ndoro, who is currently in Zimbabwe. Hello to you, Peter. It is over to you.
Well, thanks very much indeed. I've got to say, it's a bit chilly outside here, and I suppose that's your winter, July weather that's we're experiencing. But it's starting to get warmer in terms of getting the results and getting a sense of how people decided their future. We are still a long way to go, as you've just announced the results. But people are concerned and worried about the pace at which this is going, and to find out why it's taking long, or is it? I'm now joined by Commissioner Qobani Moyo from the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. Thanks very much for joining us, and welcome to you.
Good evening. Thank you very much for having us here.
All right, so I saw a message on social media that says it took 7 hours to announce 7 constituencies. Why is it taking so long?
Well, there's always anxiety when it comes to results, but the factual position is that there are certain requirements that must be followed in the transmission process. And these requirements are in terms of the Electoral Act, that the counting must be done and be completed at the polling station. After that, results are taken to a ward collation center where they are collected, and that's where you announce the winner for councillor. Thereafter, you take the ward result to a constituency collection center where you collect them from all the wards, and then you announce the House of Assembly winner. Thereafter, that's when you take the results to the National Command Center. Physically, you must bring them physically before the announcement is done. So we understand the anxiety among Zimbabweans, but the results have started to come in. So far, we have announced, I think, close to 40 constituencies, and we are going to be announcing them as they come the whole night up to tomorrow morning. I'm sure that by the end of the day tomorrow, all constituencies will have been announced.
MDC Alliance newly elected MP Tendai Biti was quite scathing this afternoon, threatening legal action because he says there's a deliberate attempt by the authorities, meaning you, to delay this process. There's this issue of 21% of polling stations with no V11 forms with presidential results. What's happening?
Well, I will start with the issue of what Mr. Biti said. Mr. Biti is a lawyer and is one of the authors of our constitution, and he knows very well that our law says that results should be announced within a period of 5 days. So we are still within the confines of the 5-day period. But furthermore, the results have been declared in the constituencies where they were counted. And that declaration constitutes a confirmation by the Commission of who will have won. The announcement by the Commission here is more of a ceremony to tell the rest of the country, but the people in the constituencies will already be aware of what will have happened. So we will urge our stakeholders and political parties to be very cautious in what they say during these important times. We also urge people to be very patient and allow the Commission to do its job without rushing the Commission. What we want is to give the proper results, and we don't want to pressurize our staff to make errors that can be problematic. Results transmission is very important, and it is done according to the law, and we don't want to do any shortcuts because this can raise issues if there are legal challenges in future. Regarding the second question of what you said, missing V11 forms. The V11 forms are the forms where you after counting of results, they are entered into those forms, and they are signed by all agents of the parties, and then they are displayed outside. All polling stations did have V11 forms. They were displayed. But there were some parties that were unable to have polling agents in all constituencies. It's very likely that Mr. Mbiti's party might also not have fielded some of the polling agents in the said polling stations. But the V11 forms were indeed displayed outside the polling stations.
So just to get this right, every single polling station where there's a count that's been complete and signed off, there is a V11 form outside that polling station as we speak?
Yes, every polling station where the counting has been completed, there should be a V11 form. When they finish the counting, they will stick it outside, and those V11 forms are actually given to all polling agents. It's not just them being put outside the polling station. The presiding officer remains with a copy. The polling agents, all of them remain with the copies. All candidates that are available remain with the copies. So they are filled in the numbers of the candidates that are contesting and present. So there is really no issue that is really problematic around that. What we would like to say to our stakeholders is that where we have problems or where they think there are problems regarding the process, they should address them to the Commission through the formal channels. Our offices are here. We have our multi-liaison office still open. Our command center is here. We don't think that we can solve issues by addressing the media. If people are genuine about issues, they should address them directly to the Commission. We are very, very open, and we are going to be accommodative to every stakeholder or any political party without any favor. So we are open to discussions with Mr. Mbiti and his party if there are genuine concerns.
How do you feel about these V11s being displayed on social media and the aggregation thereof so far?
Well, that is the openness of our democracy, in that immediately after we finish counting, we display those, and therefore the public can share them in platforms without necessarily declaring them as official results. But, the negative aspect of it is that those V11 forms have been used by some people to give wrong impressions about the results. In the morning, we're seeing certain trends that were trending on social media regarding how the election have been progressing and who has won. But the actual results that we have received so far indicate a different trend altogether. So we'll request our people to be very, very cautious, to be very responsible in dealing with election results. We don't expect them to be alarmist. We request them to be very responsible, because you are dealing with a very delicate national issue, and we don't want people to be misled. Otherwise, it can create tension.
So what you're saying is that it's fake news?
Part of it is fake news. Part of it is incomplete material. You can have a V11 form that shows results for one polling station, but a constituency can have as many as 100 polling stations. So when you show one V11 form with the results of a constituency that has 100 polling stations, and then you declare that as the trending result in the constituency, it might mislead the public, because the other 99 might be very, very different. So we realize that people are just picking the V11 forms, especially the forms that indicate results that are favorable to them. And then they post them, and it creates anxiety amongst our people. We are thus urging people to allow the Commission to do its job as constitutionally mandated, to announce the official results without causing alarm amongst the people of Zimbabwe.
How far along are we in terms of counting and the completion thereof?
The counting has been completed in most of the polling stations. I'm sure by now all have completed the counting. What is only happening now is the process of transmission. And like I told you, that the process of transmission itself is laborious and manual. We're not allowed to declare results on the basis of soft copies or anything that is sent by a scan. We need to get the physical copies from the presiding officers in the areas. And some of the areas are very far, so results are still coming. So as things stand, we are very positive that we are going to burn the candle throughout the night and give people the results as they come. I'm sure by morning tomorrow, most of them will have been announced. But of course, I think the big one still remains, the presidential.
All right, so we might have a National Assembly by the end of tomorrow for sure. Why would it take another 2-3 days to do the presidential? Because the National Assembly is happening at the same time as the presidential. It's the same time, the same people counting. Why the delay? Why the difference in timing?
Well, we're going to have most of the National Assembly, like I said, tomorrow. I'm sure they might trickle again and go to the following day. The presidential election results are collated separately in their own V11 form, and they need to go to the wards, and then the wards are the ones that are supposed to bring them here physically in terms of the requirements of the transmission process. We have 5 days to announce them in terms of the law, and our target is to ensure that as soon as we get all the results, we should be able to announce them. So while the last day for announcement is Saturday, results can actually come earlier depending on the transmission of the results from the districts.
But again, you're doing so well with the others. Surely it's not that much more difficult.
No, look, you see, when you're dealing with the results transmission, you need to be very meticulous, especially when you're dealing with the presidential election result, because you don't want to be found to be doing any shortcuts. Because if you do any shortcuts and there are petitions and challenges, you'll be found wanting. So all we are doing is to make sure that within the provisions of the law, but fully aware of the anxiety that our people have, to try as much as we can to ensure that we speed up the process, but we speed it up meticulously without making mistakes and errors, so that the result that we give them is a reflection of how they voted and the true will of the people of Zimbabwe.
The two people that broke the electoral code before the election started, they've been reported to the police. Has the police responded to you about what they're doing?
No, not yet. I haven't checked with our legal department. I'm sure the police are doing their investigations regarding the process of what have happened by the two candidates that they breached the Electoral Act. We are waiting to hear reports from them.
Can you name them?
Well, I know one. Well, the first one was named, but the second one, I was not around. I haven't really found out really who it is.
You must know. You're the commissioner.
I'm not sure who is the second one.
What could be the consequences or the penalties for breaking that electoral law?
Well, the consequences can be severe given not the time. But look, I think sometimes it becomes necessary to look at the political environment and see the impact of certain actions and decisions. I'm sure that some of these offenses might be overtaken by events. Look, it was the heat of the moment during elections. I'm sure some of them might be used as case studies of what not to do. But surely I doubt if anything severe could be done. But wait to hear what the police say.
Okay, is that because one of the potential persons might be a senior person in government?
Not really. No, I think it's a matter of confidence building amongst the people of Zimbabwe. because, you know, we run the risk of being seen to be victimizing candidates. The new Zimbabwe that we are in does not require us to do things that way. We need to be seen to be more accommodative, to be engaging as much as we can, and making sure that we don't create tensions. I think it is going to be in that spirit that some of these things might be seen to be water under the bridge as we go on.
The Zimbabwe Election Network came out with a report this morning, and parts of it was quite scathing, saying that media coverage, some parties were using state resources to advantage themselves. What's the position of ZEC with those kinds of findings?
Well, I've not studied the ZESNI report. I would love to get a copy and go through it. Suffice to say that this time around, we think that the electoral process was very, very inclusive compared to previous years. Yes, there are things that we can still do better and develop them as we go forward, but clearly our situation was different from previous years. I'm sure you know it as we have experienced it. In 2008 to 2013, in 2002. When it comes to media space, I think there was fair coverage of all parties, except that sometimes because the incumbent still continues to be the President of the Republic, sometimes he plays the role of president and therefore gets coverage, and then he plays the role of party president in campaigns. So clearly the media coverage is likely to be tilted a bit in his favor. And also there are government ministers that continue to be existing as ministers until after elections. They also continue with government programs, and they do appear in the media. So I think that's where the problem comes from. But there has been improvement. But the key issue regarding this election is that it's been in a very peaceful environment. Every political player has been allowed to canvass and campaign in any part of the country. In the past, there used to be some no-go or areas, but this time around, people were allowed to go and campaign in any part. And also,
but your ZEC passed those elections as credible and fair, but that's the topic of another conversation. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. I'm sure we've got lots of opportunities to talk. Commissioner Kobani Moyo, thanks very much indeed for your time this evening. All right, so we've run out of time. We could probably discuss this issue at length, but the next update is going to be sometime after 10 o'clock. So stay glued to your screens. We'll keep you updated. That's it from us for the time being.